We are pleased to announce today the availability of an additional 25 vouchers that will provide housing for America's heroes experiencing chronic homelessness on the streets of El Paso. The nearly $115,000 investment in our community reinforces the Secretary of Veterans Affairs' goal of ending veteran homelessness by 2015. The Housing and Urban Development Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing, or HUD-VASH, is a collaboration between the VA and the Housing Authority of the City of El Paso. It combines rental assistance from the Housing Authority with VA case management and clinical services. Currently, there are about 180 veterans that are currently receiving HUD-VASH vouchers in our program. And this program is essential to supplement the various initiatives to provide appropriate shelter to veterans living on the street. So at this point, let me welcome Congressman O'Rourke.
Well, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here with everyone today to talk about a very important program, this Veterans Affairs Supportive Housing, or HUD-VASH program, which provides assistance for those veterans who are unable to find housing on their own, with a little bit of support along the way so they can get back on their feet, be able to provide for themselves and their families, and become productive members of our community again. And obviously, and it should go without saying, that these veterans who have sacrificed their comfort and their safety and their security for ours, and who have put their lives on the line for this country, deserve the very best from the rest of us. And I think that's part of what this HUD-VASH program does. And so we're very pleased to support the President's and the Secretary of the VA's initiative to end veterans' homelessness in America by 2015. And as John said, we have nearly 200 that we know of, 200 veterans who are homeless in El Paso right now. That's 200 too many. This HUD-VASH program with these 25 additional vouchers is going to help bring that homeless population down. It's going to help us deliver our end of the bargain to the veterans who have so honorably delivered theirs, and make sure that we have a better community as a result. So we're really happy to join John Mendoza, the director of the VHA here. Very happy to join Gerald Chichone, the Housing Authority for the City of El Paso, his great board of directors and the team that he works with to ensure that we're delivering this service. And we're really pleased to see members of the media here, because one of the things that we're hoping to achieve today is to get the word out to veterans, especially homeless veterans, that these services exist, that there's help out there. So if you yourself are a homeless veteran and you're seeing this or reading about it, if you have a family member who is living on the streets, if you know somebody that you pass on the way to work every day who might be a veteran, we need to contact the Housing Authority for the City of El Paso. We need to contact the local VA, let them know about this veteran who needs that help, and connect them with these 25 additional vouchers. So we're very pleased to be here with a great team that's working to improve the care for veterans in the community here in El Paso and throughout the country. So thanks for the opportunity to draw some attention to this. And with that, I think we're going to turn it over to Gerald Chichone, the director of the Housing Authority. So thank you, John.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Ken Crawford, and I guess my story is interesting because I was in Dallas. I lost everything. And I was leaving Dallas. I didn't know where I was going. And I come through El Paso, and I got stopped here by your sand. Got caught in a sandstorm, and I wound up staying in Dallas. I was on the streets. I was making it, but I was on the streets. And I came up off the streets and went into one of the housing areas, stayed there for a couple of weeks, and went into the VTLC. And I decided the best thing for me to do if I really wanted to get on my feet was to go back to school. So I went back to school at El Paso Community College, holding a 3.5 right now, almost ready to graduate. And I went into the HUD-VASH program, which is a great program. It really is. It works real well if you work with it. But you have to work with the program to make the program work for you. And now I'm going into the home ownership program. That's my story. It's a great program. You have to work with the program. You have to make the program work for you. It doesn't just happen. You have to work with it. So going to school and dealing with that program, things are starting to work better for me.
Great. Thank you very much.
I'm glad for the opportunity to thank everyone involved in the HUD-VASH program. I became under the umbrella of that by virtue of being in the Section 8 program. And my initial contact with veterans programs was while staying at the VTLC. And that's a building that's on Myrtle Street, and it is for the benefit of veterans. My stay in the military was very brief. I was in Korea. I was drafted. I was trained in water supply and sent to Korea, where I spent 13 months. Like I said, I'm very glad to be here and thank everyone that's involved with the program, Mr. Shishon, Mr. Mendoza, my compadres back there, Mr. Sergio Mendoza and Mr. Fred Guerrero, and of course, very glad to see Mr. O'Rourke here. I was never more confident of a politician than having Mr. O'Rourke represent us in Washington.
Mr. Gerald Shishon is the Chief Executive Officer of the Housing Authority of the City of El Paso. He is the CEO of one of the nation's largest and highest performing providers of affordable housing programs for low-income families. He's been a tireless champion of the HUD-VASH program since his appointment in 2008. I'm proud to have him as a partner in this very important endeavor. And again, at this point, I'd like to welcome Mr. Shishon. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great day to be able to announce 25 families of veterans are going to have a place to live. But it's interesting when you think about where we started back in 2008. In 2008, they told us there's 160 homeless veteran families on the streets. So far, we've housed over 145 families, and now we're informed that there's 200 more. Let you know, there's probably more than that. So the numbers that we currently have that we believe are on the street is actually larger than even what is expected today of the 200, just to let you know. That's why these are so important. Now, my tireless staff has worked so hard to lease up these vouchers. When you normally tackle something like homelessness versus a normal voucher, it's relatively easy to work with a family. It's different when you're talking about the homeless veterans. These are the men and women who are suffering from PTSD, from psychological issues that came from serving our country, being willing to defend it and possibly lose their life on behalf of our Constitution and our rights. That's why the VA is so important, because they have to provide the medical services to make sure that these men and women have the ability to be able to maintain the home that we're going to be providing to. And so the staff, and I would be remiss if I didn't get a chance to recognize them as I look out and I see their faces. We have Ms. Lorena Rivera here, Ms. Dolores Rivera here, Veronica Varela, Sergio Melendez, and Fred Guerrero. And what's fascinating about this particular program is it doesn't stop with just saying, hey, let's just go ahead and house a particular veteran's family. It's, can we move them off the voucher system to make room for another family and move that family into home ownership? See, it's not just about, hey, do we just take somebody and put them in an apartment somewhere? But how do we actually work together with the VA, with the federal government, with the City of El Paso to actually find a home where they can actually know that they own that house and that they can retire happily knowing that they're going to have a place for them and for themselves and their families. And so we are not supported by local taxpayer money. we're supported solely by federal dollars. Sequestration has hit us very, very difficultly. For the first time in the history of the Housing Authority in El Paso, we actually started cutting families off the rolls of vouchers. The ability for us actually now to increase the amount of vouchers we have for the veterans is huge. We're now actually able to increase, but it's at a cost. The cost is going to be that we're going to actually have to spend more money than we have to make sure these people are housed, these homeless veterans are housed. And so it is our dedication to the city of El Paso and to the community and the region of El Paso to make sure that this is a reality. In spite of what's happening in DC, and that's why it's so great to see the congressman here, his dedication and his working on the budget has allowed us to have this today, these 25 veterans vouchers. And for that, Congressman, I wanted to say thank you to you for bringing this, making this happen. Really, thank you so much. But these vouchers mean nothing if we can't get the men and women in who have served our country, those that need it the most. We know who they are. We see them. They're on street corners. We know who they are. They go to the rescue mission. They go to the Opportunity Center. They come to the VA. It's reaching out to them and saying, hey, listen, come get some help. Come talk to somebody at the VA. Make a phone call to the Housing Authority. We have something for you. There is a better way. And so that takes all of us. It's not just, hey, it's the Housing Authority's job, or hey, it's the VA's job. It's our job to reach out to the people that we know, to put that hand out there and say, you know what? Let me show you who to call. Let me take you down to talk to somebody. Just bring them to us. We will take care of it from there. And that's just our plea. The staff that you have around you, the staff I mentioned, Ms. Rivera, Ms. Varela, Mr. Melendez, Mr. Guerrero, they work full time for the citizens of El Paso just to do these kind of things. So reach out to us, because we can make a difference, and we can end veterans homelessness by 2015 if we all work together. Thank you very much.